Hindu seers were among the earliest and the greatest artists of the world. They would often convey their observations and thoughts in the concealed language of symbols and icons. The richness and variety of symbolism used in Hindu scriptures is unrivalled. Few examples may be recalled to capture the beauty and significance of the symbols in the Hindu pantheon. The portrait of Lord Shiva has deep symbolic significance. The matted hair proclaims the length and intensity of his austerities or tapas, and the cobra around his neck signifies that even the most poisonous snake becomes harmless when the one who has identified with the Supreme has gone beyond all the effects of matter on his senses and organs. The third eye in the middle of the forehead represents the concentration of knowledge or jnana, and it embodies the absolute power to destroy the sloth, tamas, and all its manifestations. The ashes that besmear the body recall to us that this body of which we are proud and obsessed is ultimately bound to end up merely as ashes. The elephant head of Lord Ganesha signifies the highest intelligence, buddhi. It represents the largest brain matter. The trunk of Lord Ganesha signifies the discretionary power. He can pick up a needle from a heap of grass. The large ears of Lord Ganesha signify the importance of hearing, to accept what is good and reject what is not useful to us. The small eyes of Lord Ganesha symbolize concentration and the power to focus our attention on what we should while shutting out the rest. The Vedas of Lord Ganesha signify the importance of knowledge in our lives. The famous mythological legend of the churning of the ocean by gods, devas, and demons, asuras, is symbolic of churning the mind. Attainment of the nectar of immortality stands for the essence of spiritual wisdom. The epic scripture, the Mahabharata, is studied with many symbolic presentations. The blindness of Dhritarashtra in the Mahabharata is the blindness of our minds, which cannot see right from wrong. So too is the war of the Mahabharata considered as a war within our own self. There is a constant war in our minds as to whether we should go by the right path of God or the wrong path of mammon. The 5 Pandavas represent virtues that are few. The 100 Kauravas represent vices that are many in number. Draupadi represents our honor. When she was being undressed in the court of Duryodhana, Draupadi then later asked the Lord why he did not help her earlier. The Lord replied that as long as she was looking for help from others, he would not come. But as soon as the devotee wholeheartedly looks toward God and asks only His help, the Lord comes immediately. Krishna is portrayed as the universal husband. The husband in the traditional Indian society is the symbol of provider, caretaker, and defender. The maids or gopis represent all human beings who look at this supermodel of a husband. He has all the qualities that a dependent, weak, and vulnerable wife would seek in her husband. They even turn their back on their conventional husbands and seek his company. Human beings, weary from the conventional and material possessions, finally turn to God for eternal support. Lord Krishna's flute is the symbol of the soothing and comforting voice of God. Hindus have a special regard for the lotus flower Padma. Its 1,000 petals have been associated with the mental convolutions, the chakras, finally culminating into Sahasrara, the highest stage of spiritual evolution. The lotus, which arises from the mud roots and blooms in beauty, is a symbolic reminder of the emancipation of the mind from the low to the high. The swastika is a four-angled figure formed from the shape of a cross with the arms bent to the right, signifying auspiciousness and peace. There is evidence to suggest its presence in the ancient Sindhu Saraswati culture, and it was later adopted as symbol by the Brahminic caste in Aryan rituals. Swastika is a Sanskrit word where Su means good or auspicious.